Good morning, and thank you for joining me. It is Laurel Sundberg. I have picked up a nucleus hive from a local beekeeper. It has 4 frames in it, and those frames are drawn out and have bees on them. That's what's inside this box. I have the net over them to protect me while I'm in the car, so if I have hitchhikers, they stay underneath. But I'm going to get this nuke placed out at my new hive location, and then I will show you guys the process of installing it. Tonight, my plan is to come back tonight and install the frames in the brood box, but I wanted to make sure that the girls are in their location, because the first thing they'll do when you open that little trap door is they'll fly out. They'll go up, fly around, and then come back down, and that is their orientation flight. So, might as well give them a chance to do that now. I've moved them quite a number of miles, so fingers crossed they'll stick around. Maybe it's good I'm not doing this until later because I'm stuck in my bee suit. I had to unzip the whole thing, my hood won't open up. Haven't used this since last year, so I can work out a few problems with that before I go in and actually handle bees. That might be a good thing. Cold. We've got a cold front moving in. The girls are all in their box and their nuke, and we're going to transfer these frames into this box and get them set with food. So first, I need smoke. We want them to be calm. I have to add some material to get the smoker going, and then I put in leaves because I want this smoke to be nice and cool. I don't want to burn any of the bees in the process of moving them from the nuke to the hive. Give the bees a little puff of smoke at the front door. That'll help them calm down. And then I had to adjust the temperature of the smoker because it got a little too hot. And then we'll give the frames on the top of the nuke. We'll give that a little bit of smoke, and that should help any of the bees calm down. We've got our deep or brood box in place here. We're going to have up to 3 of these throughout the season. This is the first one going on, and I will be transferring the frames from the nuke into this box. So it should be all set to go. I will have 9 frames total as the bees are drawing out comb. So I'm just checking the spacing, making sure that I have my entrance reducer in place and that everything looks good. The first thing I'm going to do after popping the top on the nuke is a little more smoke. I really don't need it. These bees are super calm because they don't have a hive to defend yet. They're just getting used to their queen. The next thing I'm doing is pulling out the frame feeder, which is this black thing you see next. I had to pull this frame really slowly. I'm going to show this in real time. Why I was moving slowly, I had bees that had formed like little daisy chains where they were connected end to end between the 2 frames. So I'm just very carefully and slowly lifting it up and out, giving them time to separate before I move this frame over to the new box. When I bring these over, I want to make sure I put them in the same order so that that brood kind of group of bees, that core of bees, stays together in the new box. That's going to help them maintain their temperature, and it's going to help them draw out comb and keep track of their queen. Don't want to mix that up. We might shift frames around a little bit later on in the season once they've been in this new location and like for a few weeks. This frame is covered with bees that are actually packing in honey. That's why we've got this nice white comb, and up in the left hand corner, that's capped honey. That's why it's got that white cap on it. If it is brood or baby bees, it's gonna be kind of tan colored. Or it might even be open if it's really young brood, and that is still brood that the bees are working on feeding. So here we have some brood comb. This is so covered in bees, you can't even really see it, but we've got a few open cells. The workers are feeding the larvae that are in each of those cells. All right, we've got our new frames in place in the brood box, and I'm just going to very carefully space these. The spacing needs to be right on, otherwise the bees don't draw out their comb correctly. So once I get this spaced, I will get this closed up. This transfer went really smoothly. These bees were super calm, so hopefully they get off to a great start. My last job here before I close this up is to get their hive top feeder on. This big black plastic thing is what I'm going to put their food into. I'm going to be using ProSweet. So I'm going to pop this onto the top. I want to be careful, make sure I'm not smushing anybody, and then I will be adding the ProSweet and closing this all up so the bees can get at the food from underneath. They climb up into the screen, and then they're able to lick the ProSweet out through the screen. That just means in this time where we don't have a lot of nectar, it's too early in the season, they don't have to fly out. They can just grab food right here and focus on drawing out comb. And spend their energy on raising brood, which is exactly what we need to have enough bees in this hive so that they're ready to go when the nectar flow hits later on this summer. Oops, one bee. Had to do a quick little rescue here with my hive tool. I want to get her out, and then I will close this up. So, they're in. This will stay open. And then they do have a little entrance right here. But we want to keep this closed for now, just so that they kind of get used to their hive. And this is going to be their main entry exit. But should be in. Fingers crossed they find their food. And we'll check them in a few days to make sure that we've got some eggs and whatnot. So, yeah. Get my tools cleaned up, make sure everything's packed up, and we will check on the bees about probably 3 or 4 days from now, just to give them time to acclimate to their new location. Okay, several days later, I'm back out at the hive. Things have looked good from the outside. I'm gonna get my smoker going and I will smoke the entrance and then take a quick peek inside the hive to see if everything looks good there too. Things are looking good. We have some burr comb. That's comb that's stretched between the two frames, and I will carefully loosen that up. I'm going to take a look at each of the frames individually, put them back, and then close everything up. But I'm seeing eggs, and we should be in business for the season. Here we have workers on a brand new comb, and they are actually putting up honey, which means they're getting food, which is also super important. Time to close everything up. I'll make sure I've got my pollen patty in place and make sure the bees are out of the way, and I will be back to check on them every 7 to 10 days as long as this hive is looking good. But it appears that the nuke install went really well, and we should be ready to go for the season. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.